Hello, I'm Benny Westside. Today, I want to talk to you about the Infestation team. This is a cool new team. Even though they told us they weren't going to have reworks, they told us they weren't going to release any standalone tech characters in the near future. We got all of that in one package, but I'm not complaining. I think this is going to be great. So, this is gonna be Spider-Man Big Time, the one new character, plus 4 reworks, similar to Underworld. This time it's gonna be Black Widow, Swarm, Yellowjacket, and Ant-Man. It's Infestation, it's about bug-themed characters, pulling them together. And it's funny that the Infestation team has a mechanic that's gonna counter the Pestilence Horseman. Anyway, let's start with the linchpin, Spider-Man Big Time. I don't want to go through the full kit. I just want to highlight key things. So, one of the major things is his turn 1. If he's charged, it's a very potent ability. He only gains the charge on war defense if he has his full team. So, off of that, he loses that big chunk. But he does have a lot of abilities in his kit. Let's start with his. Let's go through his passive, and then look at his ultimate, and then talk about what he loses and what he doesn't. On his passive, he's gonna spawn with speed up, and he has 128 speed to start with, so he's gonna go very quickly. He's gonna spawn with defense up for 2 turns. That's also great for resilience, and also on war defense immunity. When he's hit, he's gonna gain speed bar and give speed bar to his whole team. He's gonna give stealth to himself when he falls under 50%, and likewise to his team. So he has 2 things called the anti-sound mode and the stealth mode. The stealth mode is different than having stealth. It's just basically the lights on his suit changing color, and he gains anti-sound mode on his special and stealth mode on his ultimate, and they turn it on and off back and forth. So on anti-sound mode, he's gonna lower armor for all enemies by 20%, which is huge, I think, especially thinking about something like Dark Dimension. And then in stealth mode, he's gonna have increased dodge chance, which is great. And then he has max health boosts for the team, focus boosts for the team, and then this last line is amazing. All speed bar generated by any control or enemy is cut in half. So your Morgan Le Fays, your Jubilees, your Dazzlers, Spider-Man 2099 going and giving speed bar to Spider-Weaver, Jessica Jones and Nico Minori, that whole interaction, Magneto and Taskmaster and Omega Red gaining speed bar on spawn, that's gonna get cut in half. Doctor Doom's ultimate, instead of giving 3 turns, it's gonna give 1.5 turn. This is just a very potent passive. I can't even begin to think how fun it's gonna be to play with him in Crucible, in War. Like, even if you don't put him on War defense, on offense, he's gonna be so much fun to use as counters. Okay, now, so on War defense, on spawn, just once, he's gonna gain charged if he has his full team. Let's see what charged does. On his ultimate, normally what he's gonna do is do a bear AoE for 300 damage, and then on the primary he's gonna apply disrupted, and then he's gonna gain evade. If he has charged, he's gonna apply disrupted to everybody. He's gonna flip all positive effects on all enemies. He's gonna apply trauma, and then he's gonna apply blind to 2 enemies with the highest speed, and then he's gonna steal 2 ability energy from all enemies. This is amazing. So it's just a massive nerf to any team going in. I think it's basically something that's there to pull a sack and lose efficiency points and lose a team. So one thing I think, or lose an attack, one thing you could do with him is, even if you just put him there with 4 level 1 teammates, the reworked characters, if you don't build them, if you put him there, they're gonna have to sack him just to get rid of that ult, and then they're gonna have to come back in. So I think he's a very good character. Okay, now we talked about like his main war viability. Now I just want to generally talk about him in terms of his overall in-game plug and play value. So the main thing he's losing truly is that big chunk of charged ability. His special doesn't even change. What he on Crucible offense, in Dark Dimension, in Raid, he's gonna do this. What he's gonna do is he's gonna clear barrier and revive once on the primary and the enemy with the highest speed. That's so good going into teams with Dormammu or like the Rebirth team in the final room, or Unlimited in their room. He can you can focus down. So for example, if you go into target him in Captain America, he's gonna revive once from Cap and from Peggy, which are the two key characters that you don't want to revive. So think of it that way. So he's gonna be very plug and play. In Raid, I think he's gonna be good. He doesn't have self sustain, so I don't know if he's gonna be like a crazy, amazing solution that's gonna bring us salvation. But I think he's gonna make it into the soup until we get a final, a proper tech team. So one thing for me is he's gonna be great for Dark Dimension. He's city and he's tech. Depending on his unique and his cost, I'm fairly certain I'm gonna take him in. I think he's gonna bring a lot of value. If you just park him in anti-sound mode, which means if you just use his ultimate on turn 1, or you don't even use it, and then you go into his special, do anti-sound mode, park him there, you're gonna have reduced armor across the board, and that's gonna help with those giant enemies with the huge health bars in Dark Dimension. So this is somebody I'm very excited about. Let's talk about some of the reworks. And with the reworks, again, I don't want to talk so in depth, but I still want to mention their viability on the team, what they gained, and then what they do off of the team as a plug and play character. So let's look at Black Widow. Important things here are on her special, she's gonna cleanse from Infestation allies, she's gonna give them speed up, and she's gonna give them immunity for 2 turns. And then on her ultimate, the buff steal for the skill military, she's not gonna do that for Infestation. But what they did was they removed some of the callouts, so she's always gonna chain at least to 1 target up to 3. And then she is always gaining extra focus, and then now this attack is unblockable. So one thing the Infestation reworks have on their kits is the way Big Time needs all of them for his ultimate. Now each of them individually need Big Time to upgrade their specials and their ultimates, or specials and or their ultimates. So for Black Widow, for example, what it does is if she has Big Time as an ally and she's on war defense, on her ultimate, she's also gonna perform her special. And it's just a double ability basically, and you're gonna see this thread in the next ones as well. So, and then on her ultimate, as I said, she's gonna now basically do her special, which means apply speed up, immunity, and then cleanse for the team. Speaking of her standalone viability, she's still the same Black Widow from year 1 in terms of very fast to go, applying speed up, either guaranteed or 60% chance to the comp that you have. So, for example, if you have Captain America with her, he's gonna get speed up guaranteed. If you have Ultron, 60% chance. Anyway, so and then she is skill. She is very cheap, and she takes Shield Tech, which is a low priority unique. Kestrel is the main one that uses it, but if you've taken care of Kestrel, then you can divert the rest to Black Widow. And then Ms. Marvel would be a third choice, but she's kind of an expensive one and she's bio, so I feel like Black Widow would pull ahead of her in Dark Dimension for shield tech priority, because she's so cheap and she takes skill gear, and she's gonna help you in the global section. Because as I said, Captain America is gonna always gain speed up. She's gonna always gain energy from him, so they're gonna have that good wave 1 synergy, the shield synergy, and then it's gonna work well in the global section. So she's gonna be on my watch list for sure. Now let's look at one of the other ones that I'm more excited for, which is Yellowjacket. If I can get to him. There he is. Okay, so as I said, they have the call out to Spider-Man big time on war defense. They're gonna, on their ultimate, they're gonna perform their specials. So like here, Yellowjacket on his ultimate, he's gonna do the health drain, and then on the special, he's gonna do the conal AoE attack. He's gotten a decent stat rework. His health, I would say, is below average, which is unfortunate. With Big Time's passive on war defense, he does gain a lot of health, which brings him up. But solo, it's a little concerning. And he just by himself, he has top 20 damage. And then with Swarm, he's gonna reach top 5. And then looking at his standalone value, while I don't see him having much value in Crucible, solo, or maybe on war defense, in Tech Raid, maybe you can use him with Big Time and Ant-Man. That we could see that happening. It remains to be seen. And then Dark Dimension, I think he might be an option. If you do take Black Widow, then they're gonna start building up some synergy, and then in Dark Dimension he gains extra damage, and he also has some Dark Dimension abilities, as well as the fact that he has a health steal. So he's a consideration. And then he's tech, which makes it a little more palatable, even though it is four sets of minis. And then he takes Gravitonium, which after taking She-Hulk to gear 17, I don't think anybody's going to want to take her to 18, so this could be your priority for Gravitonium. I don't know if you're an X Factor fan. I've never really gone hard into them, so for me, sure, Yellowjacket can take my teal Gravitonium. Since we're at Yellowjacket, let's look at Ant-Man. It's interesting that there's 2 Pimtech members on here, 2 Avengers, 2 Spider-Verse. It's kind of pretty much a ragtag team, but I like the concept of it. So looking at Ant-Man, he's gonna be the assister. Black Widow also has this. They're both gonna be gaining assist now on the always guaranteed on any team member's turn. But I think in terms of ISOs, I think Ant-Man's gonna be the skirmisher, and Black Widow, as well as the other 3, are gonna be strikers. So that's one of the important things on this kit, the assisting. And then the other part is, again, the call-outs to having Spider-Man big time as an ally, and then performing their specials with their ultimates, and then their ultimates with their specials. So it's double abilities, which I think is good. So on turn 1, you don't have to choose between applying ability block and the AoE. You can do it together. And this one actually doesn't even have the war defense call out, so he's always going to do that if he has Spider-Man big time as an ally. And his stat rework was really nice. He has top 40 health, again top 20 damage, comparable to Horseman, which is crazy. And then he has decent focus, comparable to Quicksilver and Kate Bishop. And then looking at him in a Dark Dimension capacity, standalone, I don't see his value. But if you end up taking Black Widow and you take Yellowjacket and you just love this team, you can bring him. He's tech. He's a little cheaper than Yellowjacket. One thing is he takes quantum energy. So if you're gonna take Kang is your priority, and then your second priority would be Ant-Man. And then you might have also spent some quantum energy on Dazzler already. So this unique is maybe let more valuable than Gravitonium, but you might still have it on hand. So I doubt I'm gonna take him, but I think he's a possibility. We could see him on some teams. He's also an Avenger tag, so he's gonna get the benefits from being with Captain America as well. And I keep bringing up Captain America because I see him as a front runner for global in Dark Dimension. Okay, finally we have Swarm. Alrighty, what he's gonna do is, his main thing is he's gonna give 25% extra damage to the team on war defense. They didn't put in a means for him to gain charged on the team. So unlike with Doc Ock, he's not gonna replenish his charges, which means after turn 4, he's gonna start killing himself, which hurts his viability off of the team. So as a solo character, it's kind of dicey to bring him. One thing they did was previously he would only heal on turn if he was charged. Now on every turn he's gonna heal, but if he has lost his charges and now you're on turn 5, he's gonna heal at the beginning of the turn, and then at the end of the turn he's gonna attack himself. So I don't know. Because of this, like, because he's attacking himself, and because he's bio, and because he takes Serum SO2, which both Nick Fury and Cap World War II take, I don't see him as a candidate for City. Granted, he would have Big Time as an ally in there, so there would be some slight synergy going. But as I said, he's gonna start killing himself, so you would have to support him with a healer, or work on healer ISOs. One thing I'm curious about is if you were to make him a fortifier at the end of the turn when he attacks himself, is he gonna eat into the barrier? 1, and then if he's a blue 5 fortifier, does that drain mean he can drain off of the damage he does to himself? I don't know. Well, if I can find out more about that, I'll let you know. So that's about it, I think. As I said, I would recommend Striker on all of them and Skirmisher on Ant-Man. If you don't want to build the reworked characters and just Big Time, that could definitely get you a couple defensive wins. And then just Big Time alone, he's very plug and play. He's a fantastic kit. I'm excited to play with him. I think he's gonna change the way we counter some of the existing teams in Cosmic Crucible especially, and people might just want to use him on war offense as well instead of just sticking him on defense. And I mean, they always change things later on. They add requirements, so this whole team might be required for something. I can't know that, but it does look like a shelvable team, especially because they're a war defense team. If you want, just unlock him, put him aside. You probably already have the other characters. If you want, you can slowly build them on the side. Let's see, work on your raid teams first, and then go from there. And then make sure you have a good plan for Dark Dimension. I'm gonna start putting out content once we know exactly what characters we're getting next patch, and then maybe if we get a glimpse at the nodes, that'll help determine what I put on the content. So thank you for looking at the Infestation team with me. I hope to see you in the next one.